Welcome back to this early access gameplay of Skylines II. Today, the city will grow a lot. We will continue with lots of advanced things, try all of the public transport options, including a gigantic airport, build many big highway interchanges from scratch, earn lots of money, zone high-density city center, and deal with traffic problems. This is still the development build of the game, so some things won't be the same at release, but let's continue this introduction in the game already. Let's go. As you guys requested in that poll that I was doing in the community posts, you want to see public transport the most. So that's what I would like to focus on. But we have a problem, unfortunately, and that is I first need to unlock all of these things. I don't have enough points for all of that, so we will have to advance to the Great Town first, which means that I will right now start with the infrastructure. I would really like to start building some kind of highway bypasses of the city. There's only this single highway in here, the starting one, but I would also like to build one right here on this foot of the mountain, because that's going to be close to the industrial zone. That's just going to be a good way to bring in raw materials. So right now I only have tiles to purchase in here. So let's say that I would like to have the highway go maybe like this. There's going to be an interchange over there, all right? So that's going to cost me 10 permits. I'm just going to purchase that. So this is a nice opportunity to show you the road building once more, but this time with more complicated interchanges, with many more interchanges as well, because we are going to build some proper highway system today around the city. First, we need to bridge this valley. As you can see, it's quite deep, and we are going to do it with the suspension bridge, which is going to look really nice. It's going to be a nice scenery around here. So here on this side, we need to start rather high, because as you can see, there is this hill that we will have to then cross somehow, but we will do that later. But I'm going to start maybe like 30 meters above terrain. Then I'm just going to pick the parallel mode, switch it to 3, because I want to have maybe some space left for potential upgrades. I'm just going to do it with a 2-lane highway right now, but maybe later we will need more. Right, also on this side we will have to go much lower because, you know, there's going to be some interchange, so we have reasonable grades there. So I'm just going to go lower with this bridge, something like 4%. Yeah, 4% is going to be enough, and let's build it. There we go. Now let's build the main direction, but 90 degrees are boring, so I'm just going to do it a little curved, little twisted, so maybe like this. Then just going to go by this mountain, going to go straight from there, just a little. Can we actually do it without bumping into the cliffs? Yep, we can. And, well, maybe actually a little bit more forward, because then I need to turn in here, and I need to turn so that I will be able to do like a Y interchange over there. I'm going to take the 1-lane highway. I'm going to snap to the inner lane of this bridge highway, and I'm just going to first turn away from the desired direction, because I need to do some sort of a loop. As you can see, we have some serious elevation difference. So I'm just keeping an eye on that grade value. I'm going to push it past 4%, so something like 5 maybe. And then I need to, inside this loop, just like overcome that elevation. So I'm just going to, I have plenty of space, so I can just use all that over here. And hopefully this is going to give me some nicer grade. Yeah, something like 4.7, 4.5. So let's just connect it. It's the other way around, so we need to change direction, and look at that. That's actually a nice looking direction. I can upgrade this into 3 lanes, right, like this, offset, so that we have nice turning lane. Yeah, there we go. All right, and now I just need to upgrade directions for the rest of this connection, and we are done. And actually, if I'm not satisfied with this particular connection, because as you can see, the shoulder is kind of missing and the lines are not connected well, I can actually just use the upgrade tool, and look at this. I can just get rid of the snapping options, and I can just see how it would look if I made it slightly offset. And maybe I'm just going to go for this. Yeah, there we go. And now I upgraded it. Of course, this connection is now just looking weird, but I can maybe get rid of this entire thing and just rebuild it better. I'm going to take the 1-lane highway again. I'm going to now snap to the unused lane right here. I don't really need to snap to the node, because Skylines II doesn't really work with nodes, as you can see. They are there, but you don't really have to snap to them. There is no even option to snap to nodes, really. Well, I guess using the guidelines, but you don't have to. As you can see, it's actually going to create the nodes okay after you are done with these changes. So let me just do this kind of a connection. Of course, let's go for something like 4.8% maybe. And then I'm just going to go parallel to the main direction for a bit. Maybe 4.7, 4.6, yeah. And now let's connect back. Yeah, 4.3, that's probably enough. Maybe we can go for something like 4.7. But seriously, we have so much space in here that it doesn't matter. Now, I'm just going to switch this lane into that turning lane. Maybe we can actually do it longer like that. And of course, I need to switch directions. All right, and let's just finish it. So I'm just going to start over here symmetrically. I'm going to turn a little outside, although not much, and then turn here. Yeah, it will allow me to do that. And the last connection. So from this lane, I'm just going to click it. I'm going to try how low of an angle the game is going to let me build. And as you can see, yeah, very low compared to, I mean, the angle between these two one-lane highways is very low, as you can see. And actually, those glitches that I had there was just the result of me not snapping to already this kind of a three-lane road. Because if I am snapping to that outer lane of that merging lane, then it's going to be much better. But obviously, you don't know where you're going to connect it before you are done. So it might be maybe worth it to just first like do a test fit and then just see where it's going to connect. And at that point, you are just going to build that three-lane merging road and do something like that. And look at that. The connection is just so much cleaner. Okay, this is our first big highway interchange in City Skylines 2, and I have to say, this was really easy to do because the game was not fighting me at all. The restrictions are really much lower compared to CS1, so I was able to do the grades. I even chose to obey some grades, but the game would allow me to do it even steeper. These kinds of vertical separations were just easy to manage, easy to do. All of these changes between, you know, ground segments, these kinds of embankments and elevated, all that happened on its own and it's looking great, but especially these connections. Coming from City Skylines 1, you probably know the pain if you want to achieve something like this in CS1. Right out of the box, having this in CS2 is just amazing. Like, this is great. This is just great. Let's continue building this bridge highway, and I got an idea. We already have a very generous spacing here between the two ways, so let's build like a non-standard looking roundabout interchange. I'm first going to build a tunnel because there is like a hill underneath this railway. You cannot really see it very well. I need to build actually minus 50 meters below ground. I'm going to now clip the terrain all the way towards the tunnel. Alright, and let me now see if I can create some good looking tunnel portals. So let's do this maybe. Okay, plan B. The tunnel portals were kind of looking okay, but they just don't work well with this steep terrain. So I'm just going to create this valley all the way. It's, yeah, it's not exactly going to be very realistic, but it's going to work. Alright, so just very roughly cutting the valley. I guess I finally understand how the slope terrain tool works. It's the same in City Skylines 1, but I don't really use it that much. But now I finally understand it. You actually have to right click on the low terrain and then left click and hold on the high terrain, and then it's going to do the thing. So hopefully I'm doing it right now. Alright, so let's build a highway something like this. I don't really want to overdo it with the grades too much, but at the same time, I do need to achieve some kind of elevation. Let's maybe keep it like that so that it's going to be built on the ground, yeah. And now I want to build that roundabout on top of it. I will have to build the roundabout more centered, so let's just build like a perpendicular road to the highway. And let's see if maybe this is going to be... Well, there's the pillar inside, of course, so that's better. But if I just do like a quick circle, then... Is this road like aiming roughly towards the center of it? Well, not quite, but it's good enough, I guess. So yeah, I will keep this. Now, these highways I will connect like this. I'm going to take two-lane, two-way highway. I'm gonna go from this point, and you can probably already tell where this is going. I'm first going to create like this thing so that I can switch these roads into the three-lane configuration already. Now I'm going to clip it off. No, not the power line. And now I can snap into those turning lanes already. And that's just going to create so much better looking connection. Actually, maybe we can do it straight. it's probably going to kind of narrow it anyway, so that's going to be fine. And then from here in here. Yeah, there we go. Now, this one needs to be turned, and here we go. That's actually looking really good. And of course, this road on top must be one way, and it does not need to be a street. So let me just quickly change it. First, I'm going to see what kind of grade it's giving me. 11. Well, that's not particularly great. So maybe I can just twist it around. So I'm really trying to have the trench all around this road. 4.2 going down. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, here I need to snap to the guidelines. I'm going to go minus 4.8 maybe, and hopefully this is going to be a nice grade into the roundabout. We have minus 0.4. It's actually almost flat. Nice. And because this road is not exactly aiming to the center of the roundabout, I'm going to make the second entrance offset, but from the other side, so that it kind of makes some design sense. Okay, so this is what I came up with. It's pretty much the same twisting road as on the other side. I just wanted to have this kind of geometry over here. Yeah, look at that. Some few touches with the terrain tool and it's just looking so much better. It's morning the next day, and as you can see, I'm still halfway through to that 9th level. So we need to do some city expansion so I can get some more XP. So I'm just quickly going to extend the low density neighborhoods across the river into this area. I first need to build a bridge over this valley, but I'm probably not going to start at this point, but I'm just going to clip off this road like that. Let's start with just a regular road, make it elevated all the way to the side of the valley. I'm just going to make it so that it has basically 0 grade, and then I'm going to continue with the bridge. So it's just going to go straight over the valley like this. Need to make it go lower a little, although it is already going on the terrain, so it is going to have some grade. 3%, that's absolutely fine. Alright, and now I'm just going to go back to the surface, so 0 grade. And actually, let's just extend this road all the way to this highway. I'm just going to build some kind of like a diamond interchange, for example, and I'm going to do it like this. I'm just first going to do this bridge as an extension of that main avenue. And I'm just going to make the terrain higher around here. I'm going to level it to the road. And then I'm going to connect it like this so that it's going to become elevated at the interchange. And here I can do some zoning maybe. So I'm just going to test fit this ramp. I'm going to start it maybe right there. This one is going to give me some 4% grade. Yeah, that's looking great. So over here, I'm just going to force the node, do a straight segment like this. And then before it, I'm going to change it to that 3-lane highway, just like I did before. And now I can simply snap to the end of this turning lane and just continue towards that main direction. I can probably just do it in one go, something like this. There we go. And before the actual intersection, I'm gonna turn it into a 2-lane highway because there are going to be the turning lanes for each direction. Alright, very simple and quick highway exit. Now I'm just going to quickly do some sort of a grid over here, zone it, and move on. Alright, so I finished putting together this little district, low density district for now, even though I will maybe upgrade it to some kind of medium density later. That's what I started doing in the city center, actually. I already changed these little squares or rectangles into high density. By the way, in City Skylines 2, these high-density buildings have so many more households compared to CS1. So, for example, this district, I already changed it into medium-density row houses. And by the way, I also started doing these district-only services. So, for example, I built this elementary school in here, and I can click the Select Operating Services, and I can just click this district that we are in right now. This district is not exactly big, so maybe I'm just going to connect it with this Underhill Junction district, which is kind of like this half of the downtown. Alright, so let's do something with this industrial zone, because there are the oil deposits right below it, as you can see. So, first we need to do something with the landfill. Let's place it in this empty corner right next to the train yard. I'm just going to place the first building, maybe something like this, and then just outline the entire place on the deposit. I got rid of most of this infrastructure from around here because I really want to use this entire deposit. I'm assuming that once it's done, once it's depleted, I can just put all of this back, but right now I really want to pump out all of this oil. Okay, so this is the result. I just completely got rid of all the infrastructure around this area, and Well, unfortunately, until we buy this corner, we cannot continue with these high voltage electric wires for the export. And I also had to cut off this railway from this part of the map. So I'm not really sure how fast the oil drilling is going to get rid of the oil field. But in case we have to have this here for some time, I will just reroute the railways around it somehow. Since we produce all electricity up here in this mountain, and we only transfer it down on this or below this gravel road, even though it doesn't matter that it's a gravel road, it just has that one low voltage power line below it. It's already creating a bottleneck. Look at that. So I'm just going to continue the wire from here. I'm going to connect it to this gravel road on the side of those mines. And through here, we can actually maybe cross-connect it from this road that... Well, actually, no, let's not connect it to any road because those oil field roads are probably going to go at some point. So let's just connect it all the way there. Alright, so now this neighborhood should have electricity, should create a bypass for that electricity going from there. And yeah, it worked. Nice. Here in the production tab, we see that we are producing some 340 tons a month. Crude oil can be used for chemicals and petrochemicals. And we are not making any chemicals, so yeah, that makes sense that oil is not used for that. But we are making some petrochemicals. But I guess that the factories are not using the locally produced oil for some reason. Maybe it requires some time still for the factories to realize that they can just buy it locally. Also, in the meantime, I have some office demand, which is ideal because I can create that buffer between industry and residential. So I'm finally going to connect these two city parts together. And while I'm at it, I'm also going to add some more lanes over here because this is the main entrance into the industrial zone. And what is this? Signature building? That's probably an office, so let's put it down here. Why not? Signature buildings are, of course, over here. And we have the first one. Oh yeah, what is that? Minus crime rate, well-being, university graduation chance. Nice. That's actually very good. All right, so let's put it somewhere so we can use that empty zoning space, maybe right there. And I also have another one, Epicurean Garden. This one is the mixed housing and office, or sorry, commercial, so we are going to place it on the main street. And by the way, I'm sitting on some serious cash. Look at that, 4 million. I'm making some 120 an hour. It's not really because of the oil production, because when I go into taxes, industrial... By the way, yeah, I did put taxes really high, but I can because I still have demand for all these zones. But crude oil is giving us some 150. That's not exactly like crazy high compared to the other sources. And here we go, milestone 9 unlocked, beautiful. So when I now go into the progression panel, we can see that we finally have high density business. I will zone that in the city. But most importantly, we got the development points. So you guys requested to see mostly the transportation, so here we go. I'm going to unlock air because I can then unlock the international airport. I'm also going to unlock subway, of course, and we have 2 more points. I'm going to spend that on water. I don't have access to sea on this map, but I will see how that works. Good morning, and let's go build the international airport. It's huge. It's absolutely massive. It comes with its own train station, bus terminals, multiple runways, all these kinds of buildings. And it also indicates the area that it needs for the airplanes that are taking off and landing. So this is pretty much the only place on the map where I can build it. Of course, this mountain map is not exactly suited for this kind of structure. Let's go into this view. And I think it was showing me to buy these 9. I'm going to only have 3 left, so hopefully I'm doing this right. So let's purchase them and see if we can put that airport. Yes, we can. Right, so we can place it down, but I'm probably going to first flatten the entire terrain because otherwise it's probably going to look pretty stupid. Okay, so I really need to pay attention to do it right because this is probably going to be super expensive to repair. So I guess so let's do it like this, maybe. There's not going to be room for anything else in this part of the map, so... Okay, here we go. Click. There we go. International airport. It's looking great. It's actually looking great. Let's pause the game and examine it a little more. So the runways are maybe a little too short compared to the size of the building, that's for sure. There are some parking lots, yeah, sure. Where's the train station? Right, the train station is directly through the middle. That's nice. Well, it's pretty clear that we have to build a four-way interchange over here, so I don't really want to spend much time with it, so let's just build a simple stack interchange, but I will just have to completely get rid of this one. So I'm just going to go for this 0.25 parallel mode, and I'm just going to build the straight direction over it first. And I'm also going to extend this smoothened terrain towards the interchange from the airport so that I can then smooth it down on the sides. I'm also going to rebuild that perpendicular direction, so just going to take it like this with the exact same spacing. I'm just going to help myself with this little road like this, and as you can see now, the guidelines are actually going to show me the road from it. Now I'm going to try doing these turning directions, and we will see if the game will allow me to do it. Some 100 meters maybe, roughly. 99 it seems. Yeah, that's fine. It has the 90-degree turning corner, so that's the most important part. Alright, so let's build it, and let's do the second one. Hopefully we can do it exactly the same. It's 101. Well, that's not quite it, but close enough. There we go. The second set of turns needs to be much higher, of course, to just bypass all of these. So let me just do some trial and error. Looks like 25 meters. So yeah, there we go. This ramp needed to be this long because of the grade. It's really going very, very high. So we needed to have it long to not have it as a roller coaster. But now I have a better idea where I need to do these connections. So I'm just going to snap from this end of this connection. I'm going to just use the continuous form and gonna take it roughly around here. Alright, so now I'm just going to test fit it. Yeah, that's a good position. Now I'm going to take the road from there. Just gonna do like a very simple connection like this, just so I can upgrade this road into two ways. So I'm gonna do it without snapping again, just so I can have it a little bit offset to the inside. And now I'm going to connect it finally. So single way, and then connect to this point right around here. Yeah, I need to use the snapping, of course, for that, and there we go. All right, over here. Yeah, that's looking fine, this direction. There we go. Well, that's it. That's the stack interchange. It was kind of straightforward to do, although it took some time because, you know, it's a stack interchange. It just is a little bit more complicated than the previous ones that we did. But now we have to figure out how to connect the airport. I'm just going to extend them a little by something like 120 meters. Both of them. Then on the ends of that, I'm going to build a roundabout. Oh yeah, this happens because it's not turned the appropriate way. And those roundabouts, well, let's just slap the largest roundabout that we can. Let's do this road straight from it, 90 degrees, and then this one. So exactly the same thing. This one is going to connect. And at that connection, I'm just going to do a roundabout as well. I think I'm going to go for the same diamond interchange that I did with that low-density area, but unfortunately the airport is built so that this road blocks access to this railway. As you can see, I really cannot build those tracks even if I wanted to. So yeah, we are only going to connect the airport with buses and taxis, and I'm just going to hope that this will be fixed later. Okay, so let's start with taxis. They are located in the roads tab. I'm just going to place the depot somewhere close to the industrial zone so that it's out of the way. And I guess that this is going to work similarly to Cities Skylines 1. So the taxis are probably going to do their own thing. And we can only place the taxi stands where they are then going to wait. So I'm going to probably place a couple, or well, like one or two near the main train station in the city center. So let's maybe place them here, and on the other side. So maybe just on the, or close to the main street, somewhere around here. And there are already, I think, 4 stands at the airport, so that's taken care of. We will most likely need more lanes on this main road anyway, so let me actually switch that into the biggest road that we have, and that is just one zoning square wider. Now, I will have to probably just change it on this side, because we have the train station on the other side, and actually 2 stations. But on this side we only have zoning, so let me just switch it into this road. And this is actually so much better than City Skylines 1, because there, if you wanted to change roads into wider ones, then that would just break all the zoning, and all the buildings around it would be weird. But this is actually good how you can switch it only on one side. Okay, so I upgraded the main street, but now we are starting to have some traffic issues with all the roads that are going towards it. So I'm just going to do the same upgrade as I did before, and at the very least I'm going to turn them into 3-lane asymmetric roads, so that there can be a separate left and right turn. It's clear that we need some public transport, so let's get to it. Let's actually build the bus depot right here in that new district next to the interchange, because that's probably where it's going to be going from anyway. And now we need to do the same technique as with the trams. So I just need to build all the shelters and then create the lines between them. And this line could probably maybe go to the industrial zone. So let's also put a stop right there, and let's just take it through the industrial zone, like roughly through the center. And it's just going to go past this main train station. So it could probably go somewhere around here, so that it's close to the tram. There can be a transfer, and then it could probably go into these high density neighborhoods and just turn around there somehow. Yeah, I think that I'm actually going to create another road right here into these parts, so that we can just have the bus turn around those blocks. All right, now let's do the lines. So let's start from here, go here, and then just take it all the way to the end. And here we go, complete it like this. Okay, so that's going to be our first bus line. Okay, and now I'm going to prepare the airport line. So I'm going to put a bus stop in here next to the main station. And then also I'm going to actually put a stop right next to the taxi stand. I don't know how that's going to work, but we will see. And that's going to be only for the airport line. So I'm going to start the bus line over here, then go here, and then all the way to the airport. It's not going to stop anywhere on the line, because I just want it to be like an express line, so it reaches the center of the city with all the people who arrived by plane. So let's complete the line. Here we go. It's morning the next day, and look at that. The whole map is covered in snow because we are in January already. But anyway, let's check on our buses. So we have the new bus lines. The one at the airport is not doing anything because I forgot to actually do any kind of airlines. But the first line is transporting some 300. It actually was 400 during the night. But look at that. That's actually much more than the trams. So we definitely need to build more bus lines into the industrial zone. But first, let's do something about the airport. So I'm going to try to build some kind of connections to the outside of the map. So let's do passenger airline tool, and I can just put it on, I don't know, one of these stands, and then probably, I'm assuming, to the end of the map. Yeah, there we go. So, and now back. So maybe to this stand or the same one. Yeah, I actually need to do it to the same one to complete the route. Alright, so now we can actually do it for the rest of them. So I think that there might be maybe these kinds of connections on each corner. No, but near the highways. So this one, and it's going to arrive maybe, well, it has to arrive to the same one, of course. And we can also do cargo lines from these stands on the side of the airport. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing, going to make them go to the edge of the map and then back here. Okay, and look at all these lines. So the airport right now is actually quite busy because it has 6 lines going for it. 3 cargo, 3 passenger. But I'm just going to let it be for now, and we will see how many people it brings in and what kind of cargo and just overall what it does. Also, I'm starting to fill these kinds of areas between the rest of the city and industry, and I figured it might be a good idea to actually not connect all of them with roads, but to do pedestrian paths. Actually, a lot of pedestrian paths, because they are going to just be some sort of alternative to cars. I'm quickly going to build one of these filling circles, and into it, I'm actually only going to build the bus only road, so that we can only then have buses going not just into this little square, but also into the rest of the industrial zone. So I'm going to go for transportation buses and or roads, then double public transport lane. I'm just going to build it through here maybe, and through here. And then I'm going to build the bus line. So I'm going to prepare some shelters maybe on the sides of this little square. And then I'm going to just go through this entire neighborhood because it definitely needs it. Alright, so this end of the bus line is going to look like this. It's going to then go back into this low density neighborhood, so there will be this circle. This is where it's going to enter the industrial zone around this square and then inside. And then it's just going to end at the end of the industrial zone with another one of these kind of like loops. So hopefully there's going to be some couple of hundred people in this line too. And let's optimize the tram stops as well, because right here on this intersection we definitely need to put some sort of like a transfer station. So we have to put one there. Then I think I want one, oh yeah, for sure, over here, because that's going to be a transfer. I'm overall going to just densify the entire grid for the trams. Well, actually, this stop is not really necessary, so let me just quickly get rid of it, get rid of the signs. It's going to change the skin of the road, as you can see. And that leaves some space maybe for a station, well, actually near this high density stuff, so maybe like this. And now I could build maybe like a pedestrian path into this residential area, because that's just going to make it so much more convenient to reach the main street without the car. I'm going to continue creating this buffer of offices between the industrial zone and the rest of the city, and then I'm just going to cross-connect them with the rest of the city using the pedestrian paths, because that should really make it much more walkable. And look at that, when you create these pedestrian paths towards the road and actually kind of like click on the road before placing it or at the start, then it's going to create a crosswalk there, so that's really good. Now, these kinds of places in the somewhat suburbs, I'm actually going to start rezoning these low density commercial into high density. And the rest of this place, I'm just going to zone into the medium density housing. So when I click on the airport, it's going to show me all the lines that it has. So even the bus line, actually, that's interesting. But let's take a look at the entire transportation overview. So, oh, look at that. The bus line that actually goes to the airport, let me rename it airport, actually, so that I remember that. It transports the most people in the entire city. Unfortunately, the cargo routes are not doing anything, but that might be because, well, actually, I'm not sure why. And even the tram line started transporting more people because I probably cross-connected it better with those buses. And these empty spaces between the offices and industry and residential, I'm just going to fill that with lots of trees. I'm just going to place them absolutely everywhere. Okay, and since you guys really wanted to see that public transport a lot, I'm going to now build subways. I don't think the city needs it really right now, but I'm just going to show you how it looks. So I don't really think I have any space left to place that depot for subways. As you can see, it's huge once again. So I'm just going to place it maybe over here. And let's start placing the subway stations. So they also don't snap to the road. So that's kind of interesting. For example, in here, I would really like to turn it at this intersection or have it turned already, the track. So I'm just going to place the station something like this. Now, in the city center, I for sure want to have transfer to the main train station. So I'm going to upgrade the station with the subway entrance. Now, that's going to happen at the front of the station. Yeah, this is the subway entrance. And how exactly are the tracks oriented? Yeah, they are parallel to the train tracks. Okay, so from there I could probably go maybe around here. So let's build the stop right this. I'm going to orient it again so that it is going to be connected to the road, but I can easily connect it to that train station. So maybe another one here at the college, and let's just end it at this second train station. So I'm going to create the subway entrance on it too, and that's going to be for now the end station. Now, by the way, it is also possible to do overground subway stations, and they are kind of small. They are much smaller than the normal train stations. So there was a complaint under that previous video that the train station is just too big. It's not just a simple one-track stop. Yeah, I kind of agree, but I guess that you are supposed to use the metro for that. At least that's how it looks. Anyway, let's build the tracks. So I'm going to start from the back over here. I'm also going to observe those grades. But, you know, we don't have to be that careful. It's underground. It's completely hidden from sight, so it's probably going to be fine. Connected here at this station. There we go. Yeah, and creating the line is very straightforward, just like before, really. So I'm just going to keep clicking these stations, just like I did with trains, just like I did with City Skylines 1, really. Alright, I completed the line, and now we are going to see some vehicles appear from the depot, I guess. I'm going to speed up the simulation, and yep, there we go. Those are the metro trains. I got a new signature building, the old factory condos, and when I was about to place it down, I noticed that it was not snapping to anything, and that's because I had the snap to sides of road disabled, and I had that disabled even for the subway stations and the depot and everything. So they obviously do snap to roads, but you can turn that off. Yeah, you can turn that snapping off. Well, anyway, let's place that signature building. It's an old factory, so, you know, makes sense that we are going to place it somewhere near the industrial zone. It's going to give us some free XP, and I guess that even during the night, we are going to advance to milestone 10. Yeah, there we go, milestone 10 unlocked small cities. So, what exactly we got? High density offices, finally. I'm looking forward to having those towers in the city. So once it's morning, I will definitely zone something like that. And then we will continue buying more land. Okay, so we dealt with trains, buses, trams, taxis, subways. We built the international airport. I did not do the small airport, but I guess it's the same airport really, just smaller. Are we gonna do the space center? Okay, fine. Let's do the space center, and then I would like to focus on water. Let's actually build the space center opposite of the airport, because why not? It's kind of a fitting place. And let's just put it like this, exactly opposite the interchange. All right, so the space center is going to give boosts to industry, offices, and I guess university education. Plus, it's going to make the city attractive. So, you know, that's nice. I want to just try, if I can, on this map, actually do some cargo port and maybe even like a harbor, big harbor. So I'm going to, for that purpose, buy this entire area, this kind of like a basin down here. So I'm just going to keep buying all of this land. I need this for the highway anyway. I can buy 12 pieces. This is going to be 6. Okay, so let's just buy all of it. Okay, fine. I guess I will have to build it closer to the water where the terrain is a little bit more manageable. Oh yeah, there we go. That's going to allow me to build it. Let's turn off all snapping on the edges of the map. No one is really going to see the highway anyway. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so now we have very important connections, and finally traffic is also going to arrive into the city from that side into the industrial zone directly. Okay, so first I'm going to increase the size of this this basin area. I'm just going to just widen the river over here because that's going to be needed for all the ships. Okay, and this seems to be enough. Look at that. It's gonna be really clunky, but I think I can manage with the terrain. So let's just place it down right here, the cargo harbor. It costs $500,000, so I really don't want to redo this. Okay, so I'm just first going to build some kind of twisting road going up, and then I will upgrade the highways and the terrains. So let's go. I already started doing something with the terrain, but this is probably going to be very heavy trial and error, so I'm just going to show you the result. Okay, so this is what I came up with, another segment of this suspension bridge, and this kind of twisting road up. It has some 10%, which is, not bad, and now I'm just going to try to smooth it down and see how it's going to look. Okay, but now the most important question, can we actually connect this to the outside of the map and have ships running on it? So this small seaway is, oh yeah, exceeding city limits. Oh yeah, right. Well, that's gonna be a little problem. Well, we are halfway through to another milestone, so I will just have to wait and see if I can unlock the rest of the map there. And on the other side of this valley, I'm just going to build the regular harbor for passenger ships. So, yep, here we go. Well, alright then. So, in the meantime, I can probably start building some more buildings just randomly. I have so much more money right now that I really don't need to care. Let's build, for example, the telecom tower that I unlocked in the previous episode. The city will definitely benefit from it. I'm gonna place it somewhere in the center of the city, for example, in this place. I haven't really zoned this area at all, so there we go. 2,000 experience points, just like that. Okay, I'll take that. New college is needed as well, so I think that this might be a good spot for it. I just need to move this clinic. Let's put it in here. And now I need to just clear this entire block for it. Even though it's probably going to look a little weird because it's going to flatten that entire terrain. Nah, it's actually looking okay, so let's keep it here. And I'm already going to upgrade it with the extension wing because I suspect that it will require that capacity. The area next to the harbor is definitely going to be developed, so I'm already going to prepare some basic road grid. But even if I go very low with this bridge, it's still going to require some kind of a loop really to reach that lower level. So let me just do it like this, maybe like 12, okay, fine, 12%. Let's maybe do it slightly shorter like this so that the pillars are not obstructing the river too much. And, well, I guess I will just have to move that main avenue one street up, so let's do that. And yeah, maybe I actually don't need the bridge to be this high capacity, so let's just switch it back to the ordinary looking road. But most important question is, can I put tram tracks on that road? So let's see. Yes, I can do it. They're going to be in the center, just like on the normal road. It's going to make the bridge slightly wider, but that's fine. I do have the space for that. And once again, during the night, we advanced into another milestone 11, big city. So, we got money and all those other things, but this time, nothing unlocked because I guess we have everything. Okay, and now let's finally see if it was worth it and if we can actually have the seaway, even though this is not a sea. Right, so let's just continue it. And we will see if we are able to connect it to the outside. Yes, we are. Alright, so now I'm going to go for the cargo ship route. I'm just going to click it right there, just like with the airplanes, just like with the trains. I'm gonna click here. Oh yeah, it's going to be connected and back. There we go. It's probably going to look ridiculous with this small river, but maybe not. We will see. Oh, is that a ship already? Okay, let's just first connect this harbor, passenger harbor, and then what's that? What's that? That kind of looks like a ship, maybe. Oh yeah. Look at that. It's drifting into the river upstream. Is it transporting anything? No. Oh, hello. This one is full. By the looks of it, beverages, and we have a passenger ship. 34 passengers, look at that. I was just browsing requirements for some of the signature buildings, and apparently the refinery, or pharma, just requires either the medical or technical universities build one of them. So let's research one of those. And I have a perfect spot for it. It's going to go right next to the, well, either the airport or the Chirp X, depending on how big the building is. Right, it's huge. So I think it's going to go next to the Chirp X building. Let's do something like this. Yeah, it's not exactly the most space efficient, but it will do. There we go, oil refinery. Okay, and I think I will place that refinery building, the signature building, aka free XP building. I think I'll put it somewhere over here. I will just have to move away some of these bus stops and things, but that's gonna be okay. and the refinery will neatly fit in this place. There we go. Good morning once again, probably for the last time today. So during the night I placed a couple of more service buildings, for example the big fire station. Let me just upgrade it with some things, so just so I can get more experience points really, and finally reach the last milestone. So this is the kind of upgrade that I need to place on the side. So let's not do that. I don't think I need it right now. Let's build a helipad. There we go. I also built a hospital. Let me find it. I think I built it. Oh yeah, right here. And I also upgraded it with absolutely everything. So it has a helipad, some kind of extension wings, and all these kinds of things. I then placed a couple of more of the internet towers around the city, really just to get more experience points. And then I was deciding where to place the university campus for the medical university. And I think I'm actually going to place it in this suburb. It's kind of going to be more remote, but I don't think it matters really. It's going to be just somewhere. We have the center of the city completely taken, so it has to be over here. It's a very long building. It's not like the technical university. And there we go. Now we can build the pharma. And I think I'm going to place the pharma probably here because it's right next to that other building, other signature building or something. So it's just a good location for it. I kind of want to place it in the industrial zone. I guess I don't have to, but at the same time, where else am I going to put it in the city? Actually, a couple of more things that I can do. For example, in the technical university, I can also do some kind of upgrades. So for example, workshop upgrade, there we go. Extension wing, yeah, sure, let's go for that. In the cargo harbor, I can do additional cargo cranes, 2 of them, nice. I can do railway connection. Okay, well, if I knew that in beforehand, then I would probably not do this. Although, well, no, it's actually going to be kind of pointless for me, but let's just build it anyway. Free XP. And to warehouse, that's an extension that I need to place on the side. I unfortunately don't have place for that. Right, do I have some upgrades for the harbor? Yes, I do. Extra pier, yeah, sure, why not? Extra pier might come in handy. And transit terminal, integrated bus station and taxi stand that allows direct connection. Okay, yeah, sure. Mostly the taxi stands are probably going to be more useful, but I might also extend a bus line in this area sometime in the future. The medical university extension wing, yeah, sure. Then we have the practice clinic. Okay, so that's the building that needs to be placed on the side. Here we have the space, so why not? And then research facilities, that's also an extension building. So let's place that, and here we go. Last milestone for today, large city. So money and all those rest of things, and some loan limit upgrade. I'm going to research that nuclear power plant, but we are going to build that at some other time, because I probably showed you just so many things today that I don't think I really need to continue in this one single video. So I think I'm actually going to continue building this city, to be completely honest, because we still need to finish the highways. You know, we have huge demand. I can just expand the city towards the edges of the map in all directions. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, that is going to be all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I showed you City Skylines 2. I showed you some more things, and you have like a better picture how the game feels and how it plays. I will continue releasing City Skylines 2 videos. I for sure want to do some kind of review or like overview of things that are different from City Skylines 1, and just overall how City Skylines 2 feels and what I think about it. Gonna talk about performance finally and those kinds of things. So until then, take care and goodbye.